And we're back with Cage Chronicles. New episode here today with James now and Ryan. We're going to be chatting today about Ryan's pro debut. I'll chat to James a little bit about his trip to Vegas for the Worlds with myself, and then all the other stuff that's upcoming now. How are you guys going?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good,
I'm good.
Nice. Just been in a bit of rolling, so it's still a bit red-faced, still a bit sweaty from tapping out James. But yeah, we're all good to go now. How are you feeling, Ryan, after your fight?
Yeah, good. Very good. Yeah, didn't take any damage.
Yeah, so that's your pro debut. You've had quite a big amateur career, like a pretty, quite a lot of amateur. You've had how many MMA?
12 now, and 12. 1 strike in MMA, so 13 if I had that
13, and then how many Muay Thai?
5, so that's 18th.
So that's a bit like it's a crazy number of amateurs for Australia anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was about time you went pro.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah.
For sure.
Because you won the Ascension title, the
Path to Hex
one before it
last
changed.
Path to Hex,
yeah. And then obviously you had your last one, which you were pretty sick going into that one, and you had your first pro debut. So how do you feel like going into your pro fight for that one in Adelaide?
Yeah, good to go. Yeah, quite fit. I haven't fought the flyweight in a little while, which was good to go back.
Did you find that you made the weight all right? You seem
to
be all right.
Quite easy.
Yeah. You and your brother seem
easier than last time. So.
You and Frank, obviously you blow up a little bit, and then you seem to lose the weight pretty good. But you always got muscle on you. I think that's the easy bit about it. If someone's got carrying a lot of muscle, like Alden, yourself, both the twins, you seem to lose that water retention very fast. And you should be able to make weight, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How do you go making weight over in Vegas?
Yeah, I was on weight before I left here, but I found that once we got flu and everything got there, I was back overweight, and so then we just ate well and went to the gym a bit, and then made weight. It's a bit stressful because the morning of, I was go down to the gym, and then I'm in the gym, and it'd been empty every time I was in the gym, and then the morning of the comp, I went in there and it was packed, and it was early. And it was fully packed, and I'm in there, I've got my gi and all my stuff. Get the scales out, put them in the middle of the floor, and I'm just stripping off into my undies, right in the middle of this gym. Everyone's like, what's this guy doing? And then I weighed myself in my undies. Then I put my gi and grab that, get on there again, and then I just walked out. Everyone's like, what's this guy doing with his pajamas?
Yeah, I mean, you could have just stepped on with your gi, without your gi, but
but
if you wanted to do that,
I was in my undies, so I was like, I'll just quickly chuck it on, and then.
Yeah. There's a different thing when you're same day weigh-in. You got to be pretty much there, and then obviously if you day before, it's going to be a lot different. How did you feel about fighting? Obviously, your pro debut in Adelaide as opposed to fighting over here in Perth. Which would be your preference if you could have decided?
Yeah, it's probably less stressful fighting in Adelaide. No one's really there to watch you.
Yeah,
I'd say, but probably Perth. Putting on a performance, especially my pro debut, in front of my friends and family.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's trying to perform, not get too much pressure. There's a lot more pressure when you fight at home. I think when you go away, it's not as much pressure. I mean, you'll say the same from going to Vegas. I felt like here's a bit more pressure, would you say? Or how did you find it?
I don't know. Yeah, for me, I felt fine until it was the day before, and then I couldn't sleep. That was the most nervous I've ever been for a competition. So,
okay.
I don't know. I think, just different factors maybe, because I know most people find if they travel away, it's less pressure because not everyone's watching you. I think I just felt, I don't know, just the moment I was I wanted to do well, and going all the way there and spending the time and the money and the gym sponsoring me and stuff like that. I just wanted to, I suppose, So I felt probably more pressure than I have here.
All right, yeah. Oh, fair enough. So we fought, obviously went over to Adelaide. Your brother was over there with you, which is great. Your brother's obviously the current Diamondback flyweight holder. And then you had your pro debut. What did you know about your opponent?
Yeah, it was tough. Had quite a bit of experience. Was the Diamondback amateur flyweight champ. So he fought, once or twice, not too sure, for that. And then had 2 pro fights.
He was one-on-one, wasn't he? Yeah, one-on-one.
Both this year.
Watched those ones, and his brown belt as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very much when we got there, it was a massive, Ryan came out, there was a few claps and then he came out. It was like raw, big, massive, like
Yeah,
eruption.
I mean
yeah.
that's like a popular M16's a popular gym, like
Yeah.
with Matt Jones, like Craig Jones's brother, and that. So it definitely would be like a full. They'd be
Yeah.
there for their guy
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it was like it's a funny one because you talk us through the fight. What happened? How did you feel beforehand? Were you nervous?
Not too nervous, no.
Didn't seem very
I
nervous.
was just keen to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seemed
excited.
switched on.
Yeah.
When you switched on, I think you had to beat. So, but yeah, but talk us through the fight, like what you can remember of it.
Yeah. Just from the fight.
Yeah. So from the beginning, obviously, you went in and out there, and then you were throwing a couple of strikes.
And then he took my back. I remember I went for a flying knee. It was it's quite out of range.
Yeah.
And I threw it. He got the entry, took
Yeah.
my back, ended up picking me up, dumping me. And I knew like most of these takedowns were going to be power takedowns.
Yeah.
That's his usually go to. And then, yeah, took me to his corner, backpacked me. And then I was defending it for a while, just staying calm in that position. I'm in that position a lot in the gym,
Yeah.
especially in sparring. Like, I know how to defend a rear
Yeah.
naked.
Yeah.
And then end up wall walking off the wall to the side where he had his the body lock,
Yeah.
and then turned in, and then I got into his guard, got on top, landed some elbows which felt alright.
Yeah.
Didn't really have much power, but first
First time
time
throwing elbows.
yeah, with no pads on
Yeah.
in the ground, so that was good. And then postured up. Yeah, I knew there was under a minute left, and then just postured up in the last, what was it, like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Heard the clacker, gave me his back, and then went for the rear naked,
Yeah.
and then got it in.
Were you confident you're going to finish it? Was it feel really
Yeah.
tight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite tight, but I knew there was only 10 seconds left, and I thought, he was going to go out, but got the tap, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Which is
First ever
amazing.
submission.
Yeah, it was a massive,
Really nice.
massive
Turnaround.
switch around. Yeah, yeah, because you do attack the neck a lot, like when you're sparring and stuff, like when you're obviously rolling in here. And I thought like that's a good move for you. I mean, obviously your fight before you went pro was the amateur one, where you got caught with a rear naked choke. But going into that fight, not making excuses, but you were sick as a dog going into that one. So I knew it's going to be hard with the fitness and the powering out of positions and stuff. So this one, you were fresh, there were no really injuries, and then you just like were able to perform. And what I found was like really impressive was just how composed you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like staying composed and not getting too erratic. How do you reckon you kept that composure?
Yeah, just through all the training I've had, all the fights I've had. Yeah.
So it helps with a lot of experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
It seems to be like
Experience.
you just watched the fight before.
Yeah.
And then what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it pays when someone's on your back and attacking your neck. It's literally, I feel like for me, as calm as you can get just
Yeah.
seems to pay off. Like there's no point trying to like do anything crazy, which like
Yeah.
you seem to do there, especially because towards the end there was a point where he was like right over your mouth with his rear naked was right over your mouth. Only your nose is free. So if you've like exerted a lot of energy up to that point and then it starts like you're getting smothered, now you're only breathing through your nose. Now you're just going to start to like run out of gas. But because you kind of like you're just calm, you stay chilled, you get to those points, you still can ride through that. It definitely like pays. And then also when you turn the tables like that, and he had your back for so long, you pretty much can't get into like a worse position for yourself. Like he had the body lock on the back in his corner with a rear naked basically on, and then for you to get out of that, now that takes you ramp up a little bit, and he sort of it knocks them down a little bit. When someone like you have that position and you lose it, it sort of takes a bit of steam off of you, and then now you've got out, you're a little bit like, yes, like I got out, you're going to go. So I think like being calm gave you the energy to be able to, once you got out, you're not gassed, and you were like good to go.
I didn't think you would have enough. Cause I heard the clacker go as you turned, you hit this uppercut, then you got your hooks, didn't get your hooks, you got the arm, and you got the back, and the clacker had gone already, and I'm like, oh, he's not going to have time to finish it. But like I was thinking it's good that the other guy's exerted all his energy on his arm. Next minute, like he got it and he tapped it. I was like, what the hell?
So quick.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same with Kev. When Kev had his fight and he got not the last one, the one before. He got it, went, and then he goes for the head arm choke, and then he gets the finish there as well. I was like, oh, I didn't think that was going to be.
It's surprising what
it's
you
so
can
fast
do
you can
in
get. Yeah.
such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
A couple
'cause it's-
seconds.
It was quite surprising though, because when he turned and you sort of got to his back there, and you had one hook in and then one hook over the top of his arm, and like generally like in that situation, there's time for them to sort of like
Scoop one,
to
yeah,
like
yeah.
punch out there.
Yeah.
But I think you knew
Trap
you
it.
had it. You managed to like trap it. And then roll, and so now he's only got one arm,
Yeah,
and you
he
were
defended.
straight under the straight on
But
the
I
neck.
don't even think it was your second hook in, like because you had the arm, but I don't know if the hook actually went in.
Might have
Yeah,
just
barely.
been
Just around
Just
the
around.
the
yeah,
torso.
yeah.
It wasn't
So
in.
it wasn't like you were pretty high.
Yeah, I was
and then,
high.
But then because he dropped to his side, then it was like boom, and it
Yeah,
went
straight
So
under.
I was going crazy on the side. It was like so good.
And he finished with you finished with the Gable grip finish
Yeah.
and got that leverage. That leverage makes a difference. Like you'll see a lot. Like I notice a lot, especially in MMA, because the gloves and everything, I think sometimes that makes it hard to get like a clean rear naked.
Yeah, on the head.
So there's a lot of finishes you'll see here, but a lot of the time it's like it can be like further into the fight when the guy's tired, and then you can kind of just and it's enough because the blood's pumping and you can finish it. But with that technique of like rolling down the back, it just goes straight.
I always
through.
when I'm teaching MMA guys, I'll say like they always jump for that rear naked. They always try and lock it in here.
Mm.
And they just can't get it sometimes. Then that easy switch, elbow behind and pull back.
You just got that
seems to go on
leverage, yeah.
it goes really good. And then even if the next chin starts to lift, then you slide
Switch
back
back,
to it again.
yeah.
So it works really well, just slipping between the two of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, you've been practicing a lot with your ninja chokes from the front, and then your chokes from behind it. I see you like going for it a lot when we're against the wall and things. So everything paid off there. It was really, really good. And then you called your brother out afterwards.
Yeah, for the belt.
Oh, did you?
Diamondback belt, yeah.
At the end, he's like going, so my brother's got the belt, so we'll have to fight for it. It was funny, like a warrior or something like that,
Yeah.
So, I love you, man.
No,
Yeah.
on his last fight when he won the belt,
Yeah.
on the walkout when he was walking out, the commentators were saying,
well,
Frank and Ryan should fight.
Yeah. That's the end goal, isn't it?
Take the belt off him.
Yeah. So now you're undefeated pro fighter.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So what did you feel afterwards? You just obviously you were so excited, so happy, just like elated, and obviously did you believe it just got finished in the first round?
Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to get the finish.
Did you? Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I remember you saying you were going to go for the
Knockout,
second
I
round finish, that you were looking for a
Felt
knockout.
like I was going to get
Yeah.
a knockout, but the neck
What made
presented
you think
itself.
you were going to get a knockout? What made you think that? Just from
Yeah,
his
just
style?
confident going
Yeah.
in, and I thought that right hand was going to land.
Yeah. When you pitched it, what did you pitch him knocking him out with?
Yeah, like across. I was thinking.
Cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been working on that. That's cool though. It's a better result first
Yeah.
round. Really
Yeah.
cool.
Do you ever like visualize winning? Do you visualize winning the fight beforehand or leading up to it? Do you ever visualize losing like as well? Like so, do you do like both? So you sort of say go through both scenarios and then you're like, okay, cool, I see both, or do you just like picture winning all the time, or?
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially before fights, there's a lot of emotions going. Like, yeah, you can go through your head saying, like, how I'm going to win this. And also, like, this could happen. That, like, yeah, I could get caught with a submission. I could get caught, like, yeah, getting knocked out. But it's just, believing in your skills and then going in there the most confident you can be.
I think that the visualization, like you saw, is in like a set visualization. I think it's more. I used to with like a specific technique, and I'd focus that technique, and that's what I'm going to finish with. And a couple of times I did with that particular movement, whatever it was. But like obviously, you're always going to get these like negative thoughts in your head and go, what if this happens? What if that happens? So I wouldn't say. I suppose it is visualization, but you're trying not to do it.
I know.
But like some people say, like when they look at some interviews, they go, I visualize myself in a bad position and fight my way out to this and that. I don't know if that's beneficial or not. I'm not sure because that's just going to come into your head anyway. But I think the visualization of like certain movements and finishing or having a pathway. So last time I went to Worlds, I went to quite a few gyms over there training. I always go and I trained one of the guys, Gracie Baja, multiple world champion, and he was saying, okay, the game plan should be where you want to go to. What's your strongest part? What's the takedown? What's the move? What's the pass? What's the finish? Because and that's what I usually say to the guys as well. What are you going to finish with? Because then it gives you something to work towards. Otherwise, you're sort of like, I'm not sure. I'll just flow with it. But if you have like a direction to go, especially if you're not very experienced. I feel like sometimes you freeze up.
Yeah.
You go, I'll go for this, I'll go for that. You want to make sure that you got somewhere you want to go. You might not go that way, but you have somewhere like a pathway to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, the negative stuff's always going to come in.
Yeah.
I used to sit at night and just think, what if I'm gonna knock him out? What if he knocks me out?
Yeah.
You start thinking that way, you know.
It's so annoying, eh?
It is very annoying.
It's so annoying.
Because that's what the pressure comes from. It's no one else.
Yeah. It's so annoying because for Worlds, I felt fine. I felt fine the whole time leading up to it. I mean, I asked about that visualization because I was in my head. I told myself, I was like, I can win this whole thing. I can beat everyone. I can win. I can come out there brown belt, world champion, whatever. But I can also lose in 10 seconds. So I said, both things can happen.
Yeah.
Accepted them both. You can get beaten in like that, or I could win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got the ability to win the whole thing. I can get beaten in 10 seconds, and then that's it. I've worked through that, and then away I went. I want to win now. I'm going to work on that. But I was fine, like even there, and then it was just the day before, and then the nerves, and it's so annoying because you can tell they just keep coming, and I didn't sleep the whole night before, and I'm telling myself, I'm like, it's fine, like it's fine, it doesn't matter. Even to the point that like once you, like you said, you just want to get out there. It's like once you step out there and like touch gloves, touch hands, and go, all that goes.
Yeah.
Because and that's going to happen. But the night before, it doesn't matter what I tell myself or what I do. I could not shed the nerves, and then you're not sleeping, and then you want to sleep because you need to compete. And
that's what I used to be like. Like again, like I've quite a few fights now. Like in Muay Thai, started Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu matches, MMA, and I had lots of fights, and it'd always be the same. I'd always like not sleep the night before, absolutely shit my pants, just so scared, and it would mess up my performance. But lately, so when I went to that Worlds the other year, and then last time, like the nerves weren't half as bad. Like I didn't really feel it. I didn't feel any pressure. I think it's because I know I'm going into it. I'm training for it. I'm going into it, but I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I don't really like when you go in there. You're going to compete to the highest level. Doesn't matter what you're thinking beforehand. You're not going to go into a match and go, I'm going to give my arm. Like you're going to go to win.
Yeah.
And I've sort of made that realization now. It's like, why put all that pressure on yourself? And that's easier said than done. And not you getting sponsored to go over there. It's your first time over there, but like, it's going to happen. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to not go for it. I want to win. Like I want to really push and win, but I'm not putting that much pressure on me. And if I lose, I'll handle it. You know what I mean? If I win, I'll handle it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's not going to change my life in any way. I'm still going to have my gym. I'm still going to come back to all of you guys and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I've sort of come to that realization now, and I don't think it's like a logical thing that I've come to like thinking about it. It's just been like experience. I think so. Yeah, because I thought the last year I'm going to be so nervous going into this, and I really wasn't. I was just pretty excited. Which is pretty cool to just be excited and do it, because then I'll have more fun doing it. You're still going to get a bit of butterflies, but I'm treating it more as excitement, than oh no, the dread of it. But yeah, again, I reckon when we go next year, which will hopefully go next year, and we have a few more guys doing it, then I reckon it'll be like even more fun,
Yeah.
Because it was fun having you there. It was really fun having someone else there to compete with and just roll off and stuff. So
as soon as we walked into the convention center though that morning, then straight away I was like, I felt fine.
Yeah.
As soon as I was in there, I felt fine. But it was just like all that night before, and I was like, I was telling me. But like you said, like competing locally, it's like when I went on Battlegrounds, I mean, you're on a stage in a theatre, people are paying to come and watch you compete. That should have been way more stressful, whereas I was like way more fine for that than I was for Worlds.
But I would say that one would be more stressful than what you did there.
Yeah,
because
weird,
there's so many mats. There's so many people.
So
Many people watching.
Nah.
It doesn't really matter. Like it's like going to like the SGT or something like that. Half the time you have so many people competing, and don't know who's won and who's lost. Like obviously they got gold. Okay, they lost the first round, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just experience. I don't feel as much pressure on that. But if it's like a singular thing, you're in the ring, you're in the cage, you're on the mat in Battlegrounds by yourself, I would feel that that'd be maybe a little bit more pressure because like everyone's just focused on you, But yeah, it's cool. Did good. Yeah, really good match. Like the first match was really cool.
Yeah,
a very very close one. Then you obviously got won by 2 points from memory. Is that right?
The first one only won by an advantage for the Kimura submission. Yeah.
What was the points at the end? Was it?
I can't remember now. I can't remember.
I thought it was like even.
Even
and
it
you
was
won
like
by the
2-2
advantage.
because because they put the points up wrong. So I thought I was up
Yeah.
on points, and you were yelling at me that I was down and had to go. And then I was like, "You're looking at the." I thought he was looking at like the wrong board because they did them wrong and then switched them.
Yeah.
So I thought I was up. So I was playing safer than what I would have if I'd known I was down. But it's so hard to hear. There's 11,000 competitors, and I think it was like 40 plus competition mats running.
Yeah.
So I was. They put my points up, and so I thought I was up on points, but I was actually down on points. So Steve was yelling at me to go, and I had a Kimura from the bottom, but I didn't want to let him pass. Which see, this just goes to the fact of like the points and that we need to learn more because I could have undone my half guard, and he wouldn't have scored any points for passing because I had a submission locked on.
Yeah.
But luckily I managed to sweep him still with my half guard on, which can be quite hard to get the rotation. But I did do that, and that Kimura, like, oh man, it was on. Like, it was real tight. And when I watched back, he was like grimacing in agony, and then so I got an advantage and won that one.
Yeah, that's cool.
For the advantage.
And the second match you had a good, it was like top 3 guy, wasn't he?
So he was ranked number 3, and then he got up on points straight away, so it was like 5-0, and then like that's just like another like get used to that points. Like I think you and I spoke about it leading up to Vegas, like training a lot, getting ready. I was like, this is the hardest like discipline rule set that I've had to like train and compete in is points and in the gi because when you're down on points and then the time's running out and it's like you gotta get them points back or you gotta find a sub and you gotta go and the time just goes so quick and like when we're training for it, getting
make that
ready.
one little mistake, a little bit off, and you get swept. And you're like, no, and then you gotta find them points back. But really, if you're rolling, nothing's really happened. Like when I was in my match, and then I was like, I'm fine. He's not gonna sweep me. He's like, and he swept me, just got me off balance. My butt hit the floor, and then suddenly got them 2 points. And I'm like, no. Then you're like fighting to get those points back. So
I mean, it makes it cool as well. But I think you got like 5 advantages, which is like, so an advantage is it's not a full point. It's like almost passed, almost got a submission. It's super close to. And so that shows how much you like fought back, but and it's like it's really stressful because you're like trying to find a sub or just get your foot out, like just finish that pass.
My whole match was me pretty much on top, 3/4 mount where he had my foot in between his leg, and I'm going for submissions, trying to get my foot out, get my foot out for a second, get back in again, and it was just so annoying. 30 seconds after my down trying to get my leg out. So if I got my leg out, I would have got the points and got the mount. But it was just like, it was crazy.
It's definitely like, I found like competing in like sub only and no gi sub only and that, it's just, there's way less to think about, way less stress. Like you just roll, you're just doing jits and you're just going and you're looking for your submissions. Whereas in the points in the gi, it's like quite stressful, and especially with the gi, like people can just stop you and like there's so much more. You go here, you go there, the grips and this and that. And
what about like Adam's second match? Adam Metcalfe, they'd won his first one, the second one against that guy who I think he'd beaten once and he'd been beaten by once and stuff. And he had the grip.
Didn't he have Spider Guard? Did he?
He had the Spider Guard for the whole time, and he had this grip, and then he managed to. I think he managed to sweep him to get the points and maybe an advantage as well.
That's right, it was an advantage. He just swept him down enough to score the advantage, and then Adam popped back
Adam
up.
comes back around and went over to congratulate him, and I went, man, that grip was crazy. And I looked at his hands, and his hands were swollen red.
Yeah.
Like, all the blood was trapped in. Like, I thought. Then he went, oh no. And he's like trying to shake his
hand was just like
it was like to say how strong that guy or that grip he had on there. You know, so it's a different ball game with the gi on it, but it's fun. It's different.
I mean. Yeah, like so my second match, that guy, he had like, 790 like Grand Slam points. He had like all these points. So he competes like a lot. He's like quite high up. He's like seeded number 3. So he has a bye as well. So I compete. He didn't compete. And then we come in. So he's fresh. I'm like gassed because I had this Kimura on this dude for ages. And then so now he's 5 points and I've got no points. And you're looking at the time and it's running down. Now you got to go, and then he doesn't have to go. He could just if he can hold you and like hang out there, right? So then I was like, right, well I'm going like for subs now. So I like hit a Choi bar, like Kimura like stepped over, went for a rolling armbar. Like we hit that, he rolled. I like had the armbar and I was like putting it on, and then he managed to like kick out, lost the armbar. Then I went for inverted triangle, and then he off the inverted triangle he backed out, and I switched to a rolling knee bar.
Yeah, knee bar was close.
I thought, it was so. I thought about it afterwards, and I think the only reason I just didn't finish it was because I had because remember afterwards we were like, I mustn't have had the grips. Yeah. I rewatched it. I was like, I had everything perfect, and so I was on it, stepped through, both my feet are through, and I fully extended to like full extension, and then I stopped. Like I didn't push it through. Yeah. I stopped there, and then that was enough for him to like sort of wiggle, and then it was like 10 seconds left on the clock. I tried to switch to 50-50 and a straight ankle, and then that was it. So I lost like 5. I got an advantage for the knee bar because it's got to be like to the point where the guy's like about to tap, and you'll like get an advantage. So I was that close to submitting him, sort of thing, and then advancing. But I think if I just put it on, it would have like damaged his knee, but I would have submitted him. I think that's why I lost it, because it's sort of the level of your training a little bit, like, especially with legs, you kind of, even in the local comps, like with the legs, everyone's quite like pretty nice with each other, sort of catch it, and you kind of put it on and the guy taps, because nobody wants to wreck each other, and then you got to see, like, so I think I sort of hit it, and him being third seeded and obviously competing a lot, he just wasn't going to tap. He's come to Worlds to win. He wasn't going to tap. And so I think if I had extended through, I would have got him maybe, and then who knows. But when they came back, some people were saying, like, you tell them what happened, and they're like, oh, that's why point sucks, or that's why this sucks. And I said, I don't think so. I said, in a way, it's like, it makes it exciting too,
because
it's
more interesting.
Because
you have to think more.
You're down on points. The guy that's down on points, he's got to go. Like, you got to go. You can't just like. There's pros and cons to every single rule set. It's even sub only. Sometimes, how many matches have I had in sub only that just go to a draw because nobody wants to get submitted and lose. So you just end up in a draw, or you stall out. Like,
it's just different. I mean, even like tonight, like rolling, we're just rolling submission and having fun. You know what I mean? And it's just really fun because you could like be on top dominating me for like the whole time, and I could pull out a Kimura or something and get the sub, and it's like, oh, I got the sub, you got the sub, whatever. But then get the points, it puts a lot more pressure on you. Because you're like, oh, points, oh, damn it, points, I got to get the points back. So it makes you think a little bit, you know?
I think points...
Helps you with maths as well.
I think points really is beneficial to MMA as well, because it's like, someone gets on your back in points tournament, that's 4 points. Like, you don't want someone on your back in MMA. You don't want to... You want to pass somebody's guard to a dominant position. You want to get to mount in MMA. You want to get to knee on belly. You want to get that takedown. So I think points like really works well for MMA. It just rewards good fundamental like dominant jiu-jitsu. The points does. So like you can't, when we were training and you're like, we're down at ammo, like with all those like black belts, like Will Diaz, world champions there, and you're just trying to like, don't let this guy pass. I cannot let him pass. Whereas like, if you're sub only, you're like, I can let the pass and I can try and find something else. Whereas like it's like you cannot let it pass. Like MMA, you don't want to let someone pass and get mount or knee on belly start striking.
Smashing elbows in your face.
Exactly. So I think it really
it does relate across a lot.
It just rewards like dominant, like good fundamental dominant like grappling, like So you want to take down, like in MMA, you're not going to walk out there and sit to your butt. Like you're trying to get the takedown, and you're trying not to get taken down. You get taken down at Worlds, that's it. You're down 2 points, and then that could be the match. So same thing with MMA. It's like you don't want to be taken down. You get taken down. Could be the deciding factor.
100%. So you've enjoyed your experience in Vegas then?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was kind of like what you expect, but not what you expect. Like I think you see so much of it on the movies. So I was expecting like, big and grand, but it still blows you away. I like everyone I told, I was like, when they design those hotels, you just can't believe it. They're like, oh, we're going to make we need a golden lion. Okay, cool. What, like this big? Nah, bigger. Okay, like this big? Nah, bigger. Like 2 stories? Like, nah, probably bigger. Okay, 3 stories. Yeah, that'll do. Put that in there. Like a 3-story high golden lion statue. Chuck that
like
in.
Like a big pink flamingo.
Yeah.
Not actually real flamingos, and then we'll have all pink on the outside.
It's
just crazy, like
crazy.
designs and stuff. It's like, you been to Vegas or not?
No.
Not yet, not yet.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
You and Frank would never come back.
Yeah.
We'll get
Vegas
lost.
has
They're
them
gonna-
now.
Lost in stock in Vegas.
They'll be there one day, UFC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you'll be able to see it. Just
Yeah.
don't let you party afterwards. These are
Yeah.
like John Jones.
It's nuts. Like, even the hotels are like, oh, let's build a hotel over there. Okay, what do you want to call it? New York, New York. Okay, well, what's it going to look like? New York. Okay. Oh, and put a roller coaster on the roof. Like, you know, all right, no worries. I was like, it's like, there's a roller coaster on the roof,
Yeah.
man. Like, it's,
It's
yeah.
insane. It's pretty cool. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Like all the stuff you can see and all the shores. Like some place you could be like, you guys could be out all night just doing stuff, and it's like, it's insane. It's
Full
pretty,
on.
Except for
so-
me
so
and
fun.
Steve, we went to watch Theo Von, and I fell
First thing
asleep.
halfway
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, we were falling
We were
asleep.
knackered. Like went to watch Theo Vaughn, and then with Sam as well. And then like next minute, I'm like, it was funny. I only fell asleep for a few seconds. Next minute, he's fallen asleep.
Yeah, it's like
And I was
doing these ones, and I felt so ashamed. I just kept
yeah.
on going, and then like looking like sideways, and I feel like Sam was just like
Yeah.
onto me the whole time, and I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I just could not stay awake, and then like it was really good, but yeah, I couldn't stay awake, and then we bumped into Cody Haddon, and
Maybe he was watching it as well when he
yeah,
was chatting with him.
bumped into them after. I think he just got his UFC contract that day. Yeah, that was cool.
That was sick. It was really cool. What are you thinking next then? What you're going to fight next? What do you reckon?
Yeah, Gamma.
Gamma,
I
yeah,
reckon-
you're going to go over and do
compete,
that?
Get the gold. We
Yeah.
have like 4 matches in
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah, we've done it. We did it last time. We obviously ended up having 2 matches last time.
Yeah, in 2
so,
days.
Yeah, so 2 days, and this one I think goes for 4 days.
What is
So
it?
the Gamma was over in Jakarta this year, and I think we've got about 10 coming from here going over.
10, yeah.
So it should be a really
Big
good
crew.
event. Big crew of people, get a heap of experience. A few of the pro guys, a lot of the amateur guys. So yeah, MMA and striking MMA.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty cool. Good experience under amateur rules, so it's not nothing that's gonna be negative towards your progressing. It's just gonna give you more experience.
Yeah,
so it should
especially
be,
pro now. So
yeah, 100%.
get some more MMA
yeah.
fights.
Yeah, 100%. So that's coming up in December. So that'll be the next thing, and then we'll look to maybe get on the February cards or something.
Yeah, Channel hopefully.
We just heard that UFC is coming to Sydney.
Yeah.
February.
Oh, February, yeah.
So
so
they're doing like one, just the
Is that the 9th, I think?
yeah, the 9th, just before.
And the UFC's the 10th.
UFC's the 10th, they did over here. And then they've got a Perth card on the 22nd or something like that.
2 weeks after.
Yeah,
probably.
that'll be the first couple of shows of the year, I reckon.
Right.
We've got Domination as well. We've got a couple on Domination, trying to get another one on, which is end of November.
And then we've got this Eternal next weekend with
So Alden,
Alden.
fighting for the title. So it's only a week away. Doing some more training today, getting the final prep. Moses and then Josh. So yeah, that'll be a cool night. That'll be a big one. I think Alden's headlining for the interim title, and then if he wins that title, then he fights for the title against Stitt in February if he's back.
Right.
Stitt's back, yeah. So should
Yeah.
be a big start to the year again. But that'll be the Gamma will be the last ones for the year. And then you're going to maybe do the SGT
Yeah,
Masters?
that's 1st of December.
1st
When?
of December, yeah.
Oh, so that's before you go
Yeah,
to
we go on
Gamma,
the
yeah.
7th, 8th, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, hoping to get a few people in to compete for the SGT Masters.
The
'cause
Masters, yeah.
That's the first one of like the Masters that he's
Yeah.
going to run. So
Yeah.
he's trying to sort of similar to the World sort of thing. Like,
Medals look great.
yeah, I know.
Would
It's
that be
cool.
at HBF, do you reckon? Or
Yeah,
Hayes?
HBF. Oh, I know it's not going to be at HBF because it's going to be obviously a smaller
Yeah.
pool.
Oh, yeah, Ammo.
No, it's not at Ammo.
Herb
It's
Booker? No.
Herb Graham, I think.
Graham,
Herb
yeah,
Booker,
Herb,
yeah.
Herb Graham, yeah.
Yeah.
So all the old people, 29 and over.
I know.
Old mate, Masters, yeah, 29 and over.
Masters soon, Robin.
So yeah, Adam's pretty he's pretty excited about running that one, so that'll be
Yeah.
cool, yeah, because it'll be less people, because for his SGTs now, he's getting like 700 competitors at a time, so I think he's looking to sort of, he does his white belt only ones, and then he's going to run this like Masters only, and so I'm pretty keen on that. It's gi and no gi, and I've been, trying to drum up a few of
We
the...
do both.
Yeah, I think I'll just do both, yeah. I mean, I was just doing, when I was competing, I was just doing gi. And then I did, the last SGT I did both. It has pros and cons, I think.
Yeah.
Pros and cons to doing both. But you just get more experience, more time out there, I was glad when I did both last time, I was glad because I got the gold in the gi and then I got bronze in no gi. It's like if I only did one, if I only did the gi, I get gold there, but you don't know what you're gonna get in the other one, you know, like exactly. so and it was just more time. Like I walked from the getting gold in gi division, then I walked over to the no gi division and then got a heel hook in 29 seconds, and I was just like stoked with that, you know, dropped down, got a outside heel hook in 29 seconds, and then took the bronze in that one. Got submitted with 2 leg attacks too, but it's just
the leg attacking, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the pros and cons. It's like competed in gi, you've kind of have like those emotional, like you've competed, you've won, you're like, oh, like it's like a relief and you're happy. Oh, now I got to go over here and kind of get back into the zone again, which I found a little bit difficult. I walk over there, and then those guys haven't competed yet, and you've just like had your matches, and now you got to come over and compete, which is kind of good in a way because you're in it, but kind of bad also because they're fresh.
That's what's hard about the gamma, because like you have a fight, you can have a really epic battle or an easy fight, and like I got it. Like, okay, in 3 hours you're going to fight again. You know,
and then the guy that you fight, what if you've had like an epic battle and you're tired and he had a 10-second knockout? Yeah, I mean, I think like you're talking about the visualization and just like it's like you just got to not put the pressure and just go, look, like, all these things can happen, right? It's like you could have a hell fight and then have to fight a guy that's like fresh and he's like coming in on a high, and then it is what it is, isn't it?
You don't know what the skill level is going to be like with the other person. You really can't look into it. Like guys you were fighting last time, you didn't know what they were like.
At all.
Other jiu-jitsu guys.
The first fight.
I
got to watch him out of Dubai, and then the Belarusian fought the Indian. And Frank and I got to watch him, and that went decision. And he did well in his first fight. Got the decision win. And then we could like watch him analyze a couple hours before I fought him to get like.
But you can't always do that. There's too many things going on, and often you just like fight, and you don't know what they're going to be good at. Take them down and get like, some jiu-jitsu expert on the floor, you know. Yeah,
like myself. Also, sometimes it could be like. You can look at someone and think, oh, this guy's like a killer, he's so good, this, that, the other. And then you go out there and you're just like, it's just another person, you just beat him, you know? So, I mean, that was at Worlds, we were training at Keskau Jiu-Jitsu, that was a cool gym, and the guy said to me, because obviously when we were over there, we trained at Extreme Couture and another at Keskau, and there was people from all around the world coming to compete at Worlds. And he was like, oh, have you got anyone who's seated in your division? And I was like, oh, I haven't looked at all. I don't want to look. I don't care. I don't want to know. But then I looked after that because he said that. And then I was like, this guy's seated third and he gets a bye. And so now you're like, oh, this guy gets a bye. And he's got this many points. That means he's competed like...
Must be really good.
Yeah, I spoke to Metcalf about it and he goes, oh, yeah, that means he's like competed heaps. He's won like this much. He was telling me all the factors. And I was like, Jesus. And then it's like... Yeah, that guy beat me, but I was like a bee's dick off of submitting him, you know, and then going through. So it's like...
But then again, like if you didn't know that information, it might have come in mentally, you might have just gone even harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you get in your own head, it's like, oh, I'm not going to ever beat this guy, but hopefully do well against him or something.
Exactly.
It might change your mindset a little bit.
Yeah, I think it definitely...
Yeah. I've had it a few times with fight, especially one of my Muay Thai fights. I was training in Thailand, and I was supposed to fight this guy who's a very good kicker. Like we were like doing the game plan to beat him because he was very good body kicks and stuff. He got injured, ended up having to fight this guy, and everyone's saying, oh, he's such a good boxer, his hands are really good. And I started like shitting myself, I'm like, fuck, his hands are so good, okay, I'm gonna have to work on this. So I started changing my style to kick work my kicks more, like in for the way we're gonna beat him. Again, there wasn't many videos of people back then, but you had an imagination of how good he was. And then it came to the fight. And I remember after the first round, I was like, I'm such a better boxer than this guy is. I was teeing him up with my hands, but it got in my head that I have to kick. So I was kicking more, and then I'm like doing it, and I started boxing a bit, and I was like, oh man, my hands are so much better than his.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it's better not to know.
Yeah, an extra obstacle.
Because you're thinking, oh, this guy is really good on the ground, I'm not going to take him down then. You know, you get in your own head, that stuff. So I don't know if it is good or bad.
I know it's a hard one, isn't it? I mean, obviously, like when you have a fight coming up in MMA against an opponent, like you can study, you can work a game plan, like that's what you're going to do, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, but then sometimes, it's like, it's just, I guess it's just scales. Yeah. You that's part of the sport is to like see what your opponent does well, find the holes and stuff, but then also you get out there and you're like, you could talk it up and be like, oh, this guy's a brown belt, he's this, he's that, he's submitted this many people, and then he gets you back for 3 minutes and doesn't submit you and you submit him. It's like,
you don't know till you something. You get hands on with someone, you feel the power, the strength, the tempo, everything else, and you go, actually, not as good as I thought. Or you get someone who just looks really funky when they move, and you go, no, I'll smash him, and then you get hold of him, you're like, oh man, he's so awkward. Like, this is hard. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
It happens all the time, even just when people come into the gym from other gyms, and sometimes I'm like, oh, this guy's, you know, he's going to be a handful, and then you roll whatever, and you're like, oh, that wasn't what you expected at all, you know? Even if you've seen him compete and stuff like that.
It's you don't know what level that's like, what the other person's level's like either, do you know?
Yeah.
Also coming up, I forgot to mention, we've got the Liam Harrison seminar.
Yeah.
So I'm really psyched about that. Obviously, one of the guys I've always wanted to train with. We were pretty cool to have, like, we had Haggerty over, we had Dominic Cruz over this last year, and then we got, like, Liam Harrison, finally got him over. He was due to come beginning of this year, I think. But then he got a fight, and he's obviously had his last fight, and he's coming over. But very good seminar. Obviously, he's, like known around the world, multiple world champion, and the seminars are supposed to be really sick. So that's coming on, I think it's the 5th of November. I can't remember off the top of my head what the date, but we've got him in the gym, so that'll be really cool to gym with. So if you want to get your Liam Harrison tickets, grab them before they run out, because they will run out. So that'll be really cool. Yeah, I think he's an 8-time world champion from England. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool indeed. But I think that's pretty much all the stuff coming up that we've got. So
he's pretty brutal, eh? Liam Harrison, pretty brutal.
Yeah. Full power.
Yeah, I see a lot of his stuff online.
Like great technique as well.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously he's very aggressive and power, but like the techniques he's got, like that's really cool. Like the way he's done this and the way he transitions from one move to the other, his sweeps are really cool. Just really, I'm really looking forward to that one. That'll be good. Just before I head off to the UK. That seminar's the day before, so that'll be really, really cool to do. So yeah, we're selling quite a few of them tickets at the moment. So that'll be very good. As long as it doesn't pull out. We've had a few seminars where the guys pulled out last
Cerrone back in the day.
Cerrone, we almost had Donald Cerrone.
That'd been cool.
We had Raymond Deckers, which is like a legend.
Yeah.
And he died 2 weeks before he came over.
Yeah.
It was devastated. Hopefully we get that one. Dominic Cruz was good. That was good. That was really sick.
That was a good seminar.
Yeah, very cool seminar. Ross came over with him as well, Ross Pearson. So that was really cool. Yeah, so lots of things coming up.
End of year grading as well.
End of year grading. Yeah, end of year grading. That's going to be
I heard Ryan wants his brown belt now.
Yeah,
apparently.
He goes
pink slips.
Gregson. Tough to brown belt out. I was like, yeah, a bit more than that to that though. So you have to put like this thing called a gi on, you know, then we'll have a look
every
at it.
grading.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much everything happening. Hopefully we've got another guest we'll release later in the week for next one. I've got another guest coming in. Be like interested in that one.
Yeah.
A little bit different. And pretty cool. So we'll say bye for now and we'll catch you later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers for that.
Cheers, guys.